Hello, I am Sara Oehler and I'm the Sales and Marketing Manager for Softflex Company. And I am about 2 weeks on Thursday away from having a little baby boy. So I decided to go ahead and shoot this video from my home office today. And they're actually paving the driveway at the Softflex office. So if you watch my videos regularly, this will be a background that you'll probably see more often, my home office, because I will be shooting more and more videos from home when I get back from maternity leave in the fall. And then eventually I'll make it back to the normal office. So we'll be playing around a little bit. I got a brand new phone, so I'm hoping that we're going to get a really nice signal today, and that we're going to have really nice color and lighting, and we'll kind of play around to see how to make it work here at my desk at home instead of in the office. Hi everybody. Hi Lydia. Hi Patty. Hi Emily. Hi Marty. It's nice to see all of you guys. So we're going to work on a pair of earrings today using Micro Crimps, the 1x1 millimeter crimps, and Micro Crimping Pliers. And we'll probably also use the regulars, maybe even the mighties at some point, just to sort of see all of the different sizes of crimps that are available. We'll also probably do a crimp cover too, because all of our crimps and crimp covers are on sale starting today. They're 20% off at the Softflex website, which is www.softflexcompany.com. And you can also get a free earring booklet with purchase of one of our Softflex Extreme Trios in the 0.019 diameter. So an Extreme Trio is 3 10-foot spools of beading wire. I don't have one here at home. I didn't grab one, but I do have a little bit, just a tiny bit of each color, because I use this so much. This is these are my go-to colors in making jewelry because they're metallic. We've got our regular champagne. It'll have a 10-foot spool of our 24 karat gold, which you can tell I really love and have used a lot of. And then it'll have a 10-foot spool of our 925 sterling silver in it. So one of those little trio packs will get you a free booklet, which has about 12 earring designs in it. And they're earrings that I taught at the Bead and Button show years and years ago. It was actually my class booklet that I gave to all the students in that class. And so it has just a bunch of different kinds of earrings using all the different styles of crimps that we're going to be using today on the video. So it might be a nice way to make some fun and easy things this summer. It's great if you're traveling and you want to be able to do something creative, but you don't want to take a ton of stuff. Earrings are a really nice way to go because you can take just some basic things, a bag of beads, like a bead mix, your crimping pliers, your crimps, your cutters, and a 10-foot spool of wire, and you're good. Like, you can probably make quite a few things and then just snap your ear wires on when you get back. Okay, so I'm going to flip you guys down and we are going to get rolling here. So we are doing a whole new system here. Let me see if I can get you set up and working. Okay, so first and foremost, we had some new bead mixes get added to the website last week. These were in conjunction with the Make It Take It classes that Kristen was doing at the Bead and Button show. And I took a little time on Friday when I was supposed to be setting up my new phone and decided to have an earring making party instead. Which most of you know that's much more fun than setting up a phone. So there are 4 new bead mixes. I made 4 new earrings. I didn't finish this one. I did post a picture to ask what everyone thought of it. This piece came out of this mix. Yeah, this mix here. And let me look what that mix is called. It's the Night Blooming Garden mix. And it has like a lot of different fun colors and pieces, and that's what the little piece looks like without the wire. And I just found it intriguing, the idea of possibly weaving some soft flex through the loops and creating a pattern. One of the viewers, or one of the VIB members, mentioned to me that it looks like ASU colors, which makes total sense since I am an ASU Sun Devil. I might have done that just totally unknowing, but they are a little bit different because this is the spinel colored beading wire and the citrine, which has kind of got a little bit more of a orange than a gold color. Yeah, so this is a really pretty fun bead mix. I still want to use this big orange elephant that's in here. Kristen made some really beautiful earrings last week using these green tassels. And there's some little pink tassels, all sorts of good stuff in here. And these are still available on our website. We have a pretty limited supply, and I think we're getting down to like single digits in most of them. So if you want one, now would be a good time to grab one. This has been the most popular. I think we've sold the most of these so far, the Wanderlust Bead Mix. And it has lots of really pretty turquoise colors and brasses, all sorts of good stuff. And I made a really fun, like a little boho pair of earrings from that mix. Those green tassels are really pretty. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Rosa. There's our friend Rosa. Yeah, so these are really fun. There's the little hole inside of this wooden piece. So the wire fit through it just perfectly, which was really nice. And then I used just our antique brass beading wire and gold crimps. Real fun and easy. And again, that's the Wanderlust, and this one is almost sold out. So if you want this one, you definitely need to get on it. I really like these teardrop guys. I think those would be fun to work with. And then, of course, I'm a big fan of turquoise. So these big turquoise faceted beads are gorgeous. And I made these, and I think I'm going to send these to Kristen because she has this dress that she wears that is so bright and colorful, and I just think these earrings would go with it so well. These are from the Saraswati mini bead mix, and they have the cutest little coral colored elephants. And then orange, and then there's some like really beautiful pinks. And we'll use one of these bead mixes today to make our earrings too. Probably this one, because this one has a lot of really pretty stuff in it. So lots of really bright colors, but then some really fun brass, and even some beautiful kind of champagne colors that I think would work really well. Hi, Sylvia. Sylvia asks, are you still invoicing from the live sale? Yes, I think James has been sending those out, and he's watching this video, so he will probably be able to answer your question. James says, yes, almost to you. Give me a few more minutes. Because your name starts with an S, you're towards the end of the alphabet, so he's probably getting to the end here pretty soon. I'm glad you like them, Kristen, because I'm gonna mail them to you. I think they just would look so pretty on you with your dark hair, and the bright fun colors just remind me a lot of you. So that was the Saraswati mini bead mix, and then we have one more, and this is probably my favorite. I enjoyed working with this one. This is my leftovers from Blueberry Pie mini mix. And it has just some really gorgeous blues, which it's been very hot here in the Bay Area. It was 100 degrees yesterday, which, having come from Phoenix, 100 degrees really isn't crazy, but you just don't expect it here. So it's like your expectations aren't being met. So it was pretty hot yesterday, and these blue cooling colors, I feel like they can really help when you're having a really hot day, hot summer day. It's about 90 degrees today, so it's not nearly as bad, thankfully. But I really liked this. These are made with the tanzanite beading wire and then a 2x2 crimp at the top with magical crimpers. They are totally you. After all these years, I definitely know what is totally you. So here's the rest of the blueberry pie mini mix. It just has a lot of really pretty little blue beads, and then it has the cutest little tiny silver owls that I just love that I haven't gotten to use yet, and just some little special items like these little leaves that are kind of carved, and then some metals, of course, too, mixed in. So it's a really nice, really good bead mix, and also available on the website. But all of the mixes, I think, are getting down to where they're single digits available. So if you want one, do grab one soon. And I think we're going to make something today using the Saraswati, because these fun, bright colors are great for this time of year. And I think it'll look so pretty with our champagne colored beading wire too. So what I was thinking about doing today, I really wanted to talk a little bit about the micro crimpers, which I have here. There's actually 3 sizes in crimping pliers that we sell. There's micros, regulars, and then there's mighties. And I'm going to show you the difference in each of these by looking at the mighty, because they're the biggest, they're the easiest to see up close. But basically when you close this up, you'll see there's like a little tooth down here in this bottom hole. And then there's a rounder here in the top hole. Maybe if I face it this way. So the tooth and the rounder. The bottom one we're going to call a crimper, and the top hole we're going to call a rounder. You use the crimper first to put like kind of a big divot into your crimp tube in any size. Each one is based on the size of crimp you're using. And then you round it in using the rounder. And with a micro crimper, you're going to use an itty bitty 1 by 1 millimeter crimp tube, which is so tiny. Here they are in sterling silver. We also have them in silver filled. And again, they're all on sale this week. And then gold filled. And then when you use the regular crimping pliers, you're going to use a 2 by 2, which is going to be 1 millimeter wider and 1 millimeter longer. And then when you get to the mighty, you're going to use a 3 by 3, which is quite a bit bigger than those 1 by 1s. Are these different than the magical crimpers? They are absolutely different. The magical crimpers are going to take a crimp, a tube, and they're going to round out the edges to make it look like a little bead. They only work with the 2 by 2 millimeter crimp tubes. And so they only work with this particular size. And so there are times where I really enjoy using a 1 by 1 to like anchor a bead in place on the wire, which is what we're going to do today, or a 3 by 3, which will be multiple strand designs. Those sizes don't work with the magical crimpers, so you need a different kind of crimping plier for them. And then if I'm using this one, I often will use the regular, and here's what magical looks like. I'll often use the regular crimping pliers. There's got little divots that are even on each side because they just go together. They kind of make sense together. So today we're going to do a little bit of crimping. What I was thinking about doing is making an earring where I've anchored beads in place on the wire, and I'm kind of exposing the wire into the design. So I'm going to use our extreme champagne colored beading wire. I'm going to give myself a pretty nice length. Since I don't know exactly what I'm making, I want to be careful not to cut myself too short or not have enough wire to make what I want to make. So I'm going to just kind of look around. One of the tricks with the 1 by 1s, if you want them to stay in place on the wire, is the hole in the bead can't be too big, or you've got to have like kind of a little bead on each side to sort of anchor it down. I was looking at these little guys here. Look how cute these are. Those are probably pretty perfect if there's enough of them, which there might not be. And these are kind of cute too. I like these ones a lot. It's a really pretty color. I might have to grab some seed beads out too, just to help kind of anchor it in place. It's another nice way to do it. I think I might stick, I think these are really pretty, these guys. And then maybe something in a different color for the center. I'm trying to see what this really sparkly one is. Oh, it's a pretty heart. Oh, it's like an upside down heart. That's interesting. Oh, it's a sideways heart. Huh. So the hole is running from here to here. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That is really interesting. Oh, you know what would be really pretty in the center? These yellows. Those little hearts are interesting, so I need to look at those more closely. I could do this yellow would be really pretty. And then of course these yellows are really pretty too. All right, and then I just need to quickly find some seed beads that we can incorporate in. So hopefully I don't knock this camera all over with my pregnant belly as I try to get in here. Let me grab my seed bead pile. I'm up here. There we go. So I'm just going to grab a basic seed bead that I can use. I see some yellows at the bottom that are interesting. Let me see if I can find something here that we can incorporate into this color palette. I'm thinking these yellows, just popping a little yellow. My camera's going all over, isn't it? Popping a little more yellow in would be kind of fun since they're kind of bright summer colors. So let's try that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do gold, I think, because I love the gold with the champagne colored beading wire. I think it always looks really, really expensive and fancy. So I'm gonna pop open my case and grab out a few of these 1x1 gold filled crimp tubes. These are super tiny. It's gonna be hard to see what I'm doing, which is why I tried to explain it with the mighty crimpers at the beginning. But I'll do my best to give you like an up close look. So, and I need to dump some of these out too. And then we will be all ready to make an earring. These are size 8s. Hopefully the hole, I think the hole will be small enough that it won't slip through, but it'll be a good test to see. Some size 8 yellow seeds. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these tiny 1x1 crimp tubes and slip it onto the wire. How tiny that is. Little itty bitty guy. I'm going to bring it down to the center. I do like the blueberry too, James, but I like this one. I really like the Wanderlust. I mean, I like all of them, really. I can't like discriminate, but this one has some really fun bright colors, which I really have been enjoying. I'm going to take my crimping plier, my Micro Crimping Plier, and I'm going to slide that crimp tube into the crimper, which has the little tooth, and I'm just going to gently compress a little divot into my crimp tube. Like I said, it's going to be hard to see because it's so tiny, but basically it makes it into sort of like a little C shape, and then I'm going to move it into my rounder so that that little divot that I created is facing out away from the crimping plier. And then I'm going to compress with the rounder to fold it in on the wire. And then I'll just go around a few times, kind of tightening it down in the rounder. So you only use the crimper the first time, otherwise you're using the rounder Okay. And then I'm just going to see which side's a little longer. Okay, so this is going to be my centerpiece here. So I'm going to try sticking one of these seed beads on and see if their hole will slide over the top. There we go. So it worked on the test. I'm going to slide it right up to the crimp, but it's not going to slide over it. So it's going to be able to hold these beads in place on the wire. I'm going to string my center bead and then one more seed bead. I'm showing this in an earring today, but you can totally make these illusion style necklaces or bracelets as well. So now I'm just going to take my second crimp tube and I'm going to slide it right up to the bead and I'm going to crimp it in place, and that's going to hold these beads in place on the wire. So I'm just going to crimp it up right next to my beads. And then these beads are secure now. They'll stay in place on the wire. So that crimp tube almost fades into the wire. It's very hard to even see it because it's so tiny, but it'll give you that sort of illusion style without doing glue or any other fussy stuff. And then I'm gonna make an earring. I don't know what shape I wanna make. I'm thinking a round earring would be kind of nice. So I'll probably go round with it. Very sunny, yes. So I'm going to do my next crimp tube, if I can get one of these little guys even in my fingers. And I'll probably go about that distance. Probably makes sense. And I'm going to crimp it in place on the wire. So again, all of our crimps, crimp covers are on sale this week, 20% off. So if you need some more crimps, now is the time. Softflex crimps are very special because we make sure that they are thick and strong. And oh, my beads are sliding over this one for some reason. All of a sudden. Let me see if I can flatten him just a little bit wider. So they're double the wall thickness of many on the market. And you do want to make sure, do that test, make sure it doesn't pass over it, because, you know, seed beads have different hole sizes, and it'll be annoying if it does pass over it and then your earring doesn't work out. They're also seamless, so they are made as a solid tube. A lot of crimps are made on a flat sheet and then they roll them and there's a seam. And they'll plate over the seam so you don't realize it's there. And then when you go to crimp it, it breaks. And oftentimes people think that it's them that are the problem. And it's not. It's usually not you that's the problem. It's usually the crimp that's actually the issue. So don't blame yourself. If you have really inexpensive, well, you can blame yourself if you bought really inexpensive crimps, because those are usually the ones that are the worst. You do have to invest a little bit of money to get good quality crimps, but it's totally worth it to have your crimps stay put. Crimps hold everything together. Even if they're tiny, they are super important. I'm just crimping on the other side of this bead now. And hoping that'll hold. It looks like it will. So now I've got beads on either side. I'm going to do one more set over here and then we'll put the full earring together together. It has to be a bead with a very small hole. Pearls are fantastic. Gemstones are fantastic, definitely. If you're going to use one of the bead mixes, then you're going to want to add like a seed bead or something on either side to make sure that it won't slide over the top of it. Do you have to always use seed beads with 1 mil? You don't have to always, but yes, often it can be helpful if you want to use a bigger bead in your centerpiece here. It's really about the whole size of the bead. And I'm just going to eye this out so that it's about the same distance between these two beads, these two sets of beads, and where my next crimp is going to go. I think that's pretty decent right there. And like I said, you can flatten it a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, the 1 millimeter crimp, and that can kind of help. If you've got just a little bit, your hole in your bead is just a little bigger than the crimp, if you just flatten it out just a tiny bit, it'll give it a little more girth so that it can hold on to that seed bead. And I'm going to do my beautiful bright. I might have to send these ones to you too, Kristen. I don't know why bright colors make me think of you, but they do. They always look so nice on you. I think that's probably why. Okay, and now I'm going to crimp on the other side of these beads. You're going to get like a whole earring package from these from these fun summer bead mixes. I'll keep the blues to stay cool over here. There we go. And now I am going to bring it all together at the top. And you could definitely, like I said, you could keep going and make this into a bracelet or a really fun necklace, like a multi-strand necklace, by layering it, and do all sorts of fun things with it. But today we're going to do earrings. So I'm going to put my micro crimpers back, and I'm going to get the regular crimpers, which don't have any words on them. So micro will actually say micro, and mighty will say mighty, whereas the regulars just don't say anything at all. And now I'm going to grab a 2x2, actually 2 of these 2x2s in our gold-filled crimp tubes. So it's a size bigger. You can kind of see, maybe I can get some in my hands, the size difference here. This is the 1x1, and this is the 2x2. So big difference in size. The 1x1 will fit on any of our diameters of wire, 010 to 024, single strand. It'll fit on 010 double strand. So if you need to close off the 010 very fine diameter beading wire, the 1x1s and the micro crimpers are what we would suggest. The 2x2s are the most commonly used crimp size, because they work with our 014, 019, or 024 for a single strand. And I'm just going to slip on 2 of these crimps and then pass my wire back through both crimps. And then I kind of want to eye it out for size. So I'm probably going to do kind of a similar size as I did down here up at the top. You could, of course, do measurements if you're very precise. That would be the way to go about it. I'm not always really that precise. Let me do this one first, actually. Okay, so you'll be able to see it a little better this time. I'm going to compress with the crimper to create a divot in the crimp tube. And then I'm going to come in with the rounder and I'm going to compress it in again. And then I'll just go around it, kind of rounding it out, tightening it down. I'm using a medium diameter Softflex beading wire. So this is a great size crimp for 2 strands of medium. And then I'm just going to leave a little bit of space between those crimp tubes. That's actually where the ear wire is going to sit in this earring. And I'm going to go ahead and compress again. I'm not too worried about where my seam's at because I'm going to use a crimp cover at the top. So I can kind of leave that open and then compress together. How are you guys liking this new phone camera? Is it clearer than it normally is? Or is it just kind of the same? It's hard for me to tell from where I'm at. Hi, Dale. Thanks for joining us. So now that I've got that all crimped together, I can go ahead and trim. Oh, the focus is good. That's good to hear. I was definitely due for a new technology. As much as I don't like going through the process, it was actually fairly much easier than I anticipated, which was good. And not nearly as hard or difficult as I had in my head decided it would be. And it's nice that it's working really well. And hopefully, now that I have unlimited data, we won't be dropping off in videos when I'm at the office too, which will be really nice. Okay, so here's a crimp cover. These are 3mm crimp covers. They work with the 2x2mm crimp tube. It's basically like a little open-faced bead. I'm going to go back to those regular crimping pliers and I'm going to grab onto my little open-faced crimp cover with my rounder and I'm just going to slide it over the top. You want to keep this as straight as you can. The crimp cover is what I mean. Slide it over the top of the crimp tube. And I'm going to have to look closely, so I'm sorry if you can't see it very well, but I need to keep an eye on it here. I'm going to compress the 2 edges together. So that's what that kind of looks like. And then I like to come in and do a little tuck. So I will come in from one side and tuck down, and then I will come in from the other side. And make sure you're on top of that crimp when you tuck, because one of the trickiest things about crimp covers is that they twist just a little bit and it can be very hard to get it to not slide off of your crimp, which is what I'm having happen right here. So what you really want to do is make sure you get this edge tightened down around the crimp so that it's not going to slide off of there. And then I can probably turn this so that my seam isn't facing the front. And in the end, it should look like a little 3mm bead. This is what the back looks like. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then we can add our ear wire to the mix. So I've got my crimp cover. I'm going to slide it over the top. You want to watch real carefully as you're closing it that crimp cover is closing nice and straight. And then when you tuck, you want to tuck right in the middle of the crimp cover. And that'll ensure that it doesn't twist and then not get tucked onto your crimp really nicely. What do we think about Bead Rainbows Dale for your company name? I think it sounds nice. What does everybody else think? Do you do a lot of color in your designs, Dale? That's what that would tell me. If I was looking at your company name, I would think that you would do a lot of color. So I've got my ear wire here, just a basic brass ear wire from the Softflex website. And I'm just going to open this up to the side. I'm going to slide my earring in the center, trying to see if my seams are in the back. There we go. And then close it back up again. And that way I've got this hanging in one spot. It's not going to move around. I've got all my beads set in place with those 1x1 millimeter crimp tubes. And it is like a set and final earring, and nothing's going to be changing shape or morphing on me. So I'll make another one of these so I have a pair, and then I'll take a picture and post it in our VIB group. And you will be able to find it there. In the meantime, you can take advantage of our fantastic crimp sale. We have a new multi-crimp pack if you're new to Softflex crimps. It's a great way to try out all four types of metal that we use in our 2x2s. It's 4 packs of 20 2x2s. They're going to always be on sale 10% off when you buy them that way, but you'll get an extra 20% off this week as well on all crimps, crimp covers. And then if you do buy an extreme trio, which will have the 24 karat gold, the sterling silver, and the champagne in it in our medium, you will get a free earring booklet. And they're earrings that I designed. I'm going to flip you up. They're earrings that I designed years ago, but still very easy, viable earrings to make. And you can get that free booklet with the purchase of the trio over the next week. I think it ends on, let me see my date here, June 18th. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this earring tutorial. Thank you for joining me here today. We have a couple of shows coming up tomorrow. James is going to be premiering his new wire work video on YouTube. It'll be at 2 p.m. Pacific time. He will be there chatting live while his video plays for the first time. So you can go to our YouTube channel and click to get a reminder, and it'll remind you tomorrow when his video is going to go up live. And Kristen will, of course, be back on June 17th, which I believe is Monday, and that at 12 p.m. Pacific time, with her Free Spirit beading with Kristen Fagan, and she'll probably be doing some fun crimping things as well since we have crimps on sale this week. And then on June 19th, next Wednesday, 1 p.m., I will be doing a live sale from Mike Sherman's private collection. It'll be my last live sale, actually possibly my last video. Yeah, I think next week's my last video before I'm gone for about 2 months on maternity leave. So come join me. It'll be a party with Rosa and I'm sure. And oh, thank you. Yeah, these are fun. These are, of course, Jesse James beads. And Andrea said, love your earrings you're wearing, for those who watch this later on YouTube. So just a little magical crimper with some blue lapis Softflex holding it all together. And then I just attached at the top to the caged bead. Wednesday at what time? 1 p.m. Pacific time. Need to buy tools and supplies, but don't know which ones to buy. Oh, we can help you. If you want to private message us, we're happy to help. Just tell us what you're planning on making. If you're planning on doing bead stringing, then you'll need like crimping pliers and cutters. If you're planning on doing wire work, We have some really fantastic beginner wire work videos that you can look at that'll show you, that you need round nose and chain nose and some of the basic items just to get started. One of the nice things about jewelry making is you don't need a lot. It's not like a huge investment to start making jewelry, and over time you can collect things and sort of like build on your repertoire, but it's not a huge upfront cost to get started, which is what I love about beading. It's very accessible to people all over the world, and all different kinds of people and different wealth levels. It's really, really a nice hobby. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to finish this earring. I'll post it on Instagram and I'll post it in the VIB group, and I will see all of you guys later next week on Wednesday, and I'll probably be on chat with James tomorrow for his video premiere because I want to watch his video too. And James, are you still here? What is your video for tomorrow? I don't even think I've been able to see it since I didn't photograph it this week. I'm wondering if he's still here. He might be busy doing all of your invoices from last week's live sale. Poor guy. Yeah, I don't see him, so I will find out. Oh, you are here. What is your video for tomorrow that we're gonna all watch premiere on the YouTube station? An Egyptian coil. Ooh. What gauge craft wire do you use for that? The VIB group is a group of very talented beaders that use Softflex beading wire in their designs, and a lot of them use our kits and do our monthly kit challenge. You can join it by searching for Softflex VIB group. So V as in very, I as in important, and B as in beader group. And it should pop up, and then you just click to join and we'll approve you. James is doing 20 gauge Egyptian coil tomorrow. Now I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to be definitely there checking it out. Oh, we do have 6 kits left. If you want to try one of our design challenge kits, we are nearly sold out. There's only 6 left. You can find those at www.softflexcompany.com along with everything else that I used today. Okay, I really am leaving now. Bye guys, have a great day.